Now that we've got the flippers from Angler's Tunnel, there's a ton of things we can do in the overworld. First, swim one screen to the left and meet Mambo. I am Mambo, child of the sunfish. Have you gotten an ocarina? Ahaha, then I can teach you my song. Bloop. Mambo will teach you Mambo's Mambo. It's the second ocarina song that you will learn in the game, and it has two purposes. If you use it while in the overworld, Link will warp over to Mambo's Pond, which is right near Crazy Tracy's house, and it's right east of the mysterious forest. This is great, as it makes navigating the overworld much easier, since now with the warp portals in combination with Mambo's Mambo, it makes navigating quicker because we can get to places much easier. It also serves the purpose of, if you use it while you are in a dungeon, it'll warp you back to the entrance of the dungeon. So that could also be very useful in time saving. Our next destination is just to the east, so swim a couple screens and enter into the cave right here. Dive under using your flippers and you'll notice there's a heart piece buried under the water here. This will be the 8 heart piece we got, which will fill up another heart container, which fills our total life to 9 full heart containers. There's only 4 more heart pieces left in the game, since there's only 12 in total, and the last one we're not going to be able to get until the final dungeon of the game. So the next, we can get a heart piece right now, but it's completely optional since, like I said, we're not going to be able to get a heart container through heart pieces for another 4 dungeons pretty much. So you can get it if you like. Now is the first time you can get it because it is in the water. So jump into the water here, and we're actually in the moat surrounding Canalid Castle. Just swim to the bottom portion on the left side here. Just keep working your way around, and it's another one of those heart pieces that's buried under the water and we will have to dive into, and it's actually located right here. Additionally, you'll notice that there is a ghost that starts to follow you sometime after you beat Angler's Tunnel and before you get to Catfish's Maw, which is the next dungeon. Don't mind him for now. He's a friendly ghost. He's not trying to harm you or anything. He's sort of just cursing you and following you around, and he'll eventually tell you that he basically wants to go home and he wants you to take him there. Don't mind that for now. We will be taking him home in this chapter. Actually, that's coming up rather shortly. But first we want to do things in a particular order just because it's convenient. We're in the area. So I didn't surface by either of those staircase areas. Instead, I continued around swimming along the water on the right side of Canalid Castle, and I'm continually just heading south. We want to actually enter, well, not enter, but we want to take part in the raft ride. The raft ride is located basically east of Angler's Tunnel, but we have to get to it this way since we don't have the hookshot yet. You can surface here and you can place a bomb against this crackable wall and it'll reveal a secret cave. If you enter it, it's just a fairy fountain that'll restore your health, so be sure to do that if you'd like. One thing about the raft ride, which we are going to take part in, depending on, there's multiple routes you can go while in the raft ride, and in some cases you can fill up your items. You can fill up your bombs, you can fill up your arrows, you can get a couple treasure chests, while you can go a second route and you can get a lot of rupees. The problem is it costs 100 rupees to play the raft ride, and if you do things perfectly you can actually win 60 rupees from the raft ride. So that's what we're trying to do since we are still saving up for the bow and arrow. It's actually kind of important that you get the bow and arrow before going to Catfish's Maw, which is the next dungeon. So that's why I'm doing the raft ride right now, even though you never have to do the raft ride. So the first route I'm going to take is the route that it doesn't give you the most rupees. If you notice, we're at 722 rupees right now. We were just at 822 because it costs 100 rupees. If we go all the way to the left and then go down the waterfall on the left side, we can fill up, get some more arrows, we can get some magic powder, and we can get some bombs. And there's also a treasure chest that contains some rupees. Now when we head to the east here, you'll notice the house. Take me to the house by the bay. That's the ghost talking to you. Now you need look far for a secret. Not exactly sure what this owl statue is referring to because there really isn't too many secrets around here. I really don't know what he's talking about. Somebody in the comments, if you know what he's referring to, please let me know. Anyway, as you can see, I'm doing things in the best possible way if you go this route, getting all the items you possibly can get. You'll notice that I'm passing up a lot of things. Reason being is I can't get them right now. There's just no way to get them. You'll notice there's a treasure chest here. We can't actually get that treasure chest while on the raft ride. We will be coming back to that later in the game. It's actually in the middle of a dungeon that's in this area, sort of. So this is the best route we can take if we this is the best we can do if we go that route. However, there is a much better route that we could take if we're trying to save up rupees. This is a good way to get unlimited rupees if you'd like. Still, swim to the second waterfall, but instead of going down on the left side, we want to head to the right, and we can get this first rupee, and then there's a second rupee we can also get here. And remember, you can just use Rock's Feather while you are on the raft. There's a rupee at the bottom, but we do not want to get that because that would mean we would be unable to get these 3 rupees, as well as we want to stay on the right side because there's a series of rupees here. The rupee on the bottom left here is probably the hardest one to get on the raft ride, just because if you look on the water, it changes direction so often, and it's sort of like off on its own in a way. And like it took me 3 or 4 tries to get that just in the recording, so don't mind if you miss that one. That's one of the tough ones. Even if you do miss it, if you get all the other rupees that you can get, you'll still make 50 rupees on the raft ride. So if you get all the rupees, you'll make 60. Since it costs 100, but we make 160 back in terms of the amount of rupees. So I'm up to 882 now, which is pretty good. It's one step closer to getting the bow and arrow. You could actually just go through this over and over and over to max out your rupees, but that's kind of boring, so I'm not going to be doing that. But just letting you know, that is an option if you are trying to save up rupees to buy the bow and arrow or whatnot. You should be close to roughly around where I am at, especially if you've been following along with the walkthrough. So if not, there's no big deal. There's another place I'm going to show you that has where we can basically earn unlimited rupees. Our next destination is going to be over at Animal Village, where we can continue the trading sequence. If you remember, right before English Tunnel, we got the hibiscus on Tall Heights. If we head over to the goat here, oh, you brought me a hibiscus, how sweet. Well, since you are such a gentleman, I have a request to make of you. Will you listen? I would like you to take this letter to a Mr. Wright, who lives on the border of the mysterious forest, please. And he will give you Goat's letter in exchange for the hibiscus. We could actually do this right now, but we are going to do it in this chapter, but a little further down the line, since it's sort of inconvenient right now. Instead, we want to slowly but surely make our way over to the house of this ghost that is following us, because he can be rather annoying, just following you and every once in a while just talking to you. He lives at the southern portion of Koholint Island, basically near Tornado Shores, where we got Marin, pretty much. There's a few things we can do in this area before actually returning the ghost, though, but it's right in this area. Over here, you'll notice that there's a secret underground passage. You can just jump and slash at one of the bushes, and then, you can just jump over. It's a lot easier if you use the Pegasus boots and the Rock's Feather, or you can just do what I did, right like that. Alternatively, if you already have the bow, you can actually place a bomb and then shoot an arrow at the same time, and this will basically do like a bomb arrow combination, and you can blow up the trees, making it easier to jump across. Continue through the underground passage and just head to the left here, and you'll find there's another underground passage. Enter it and you'll find another cave where you will meet Mad Batter. Use the magic powder, and it's just like before when we got our magic powder upgrade. This time around, the the evil bat, so to speak. Well, he makes it look like he's evil by saying, "Ha, I'm gonna make you carry more stuff," or whatever. And he actually upgrades the bomb capacity that we can hold. We now can hold up to 60 bombs. And if you ask me, this is kind of ridiculous because I don't think I've ever had to use outside of Key Cavern, because you need to use a lot of bombs in Key Cavern. You really never need to use bombs anywhere else, for a significant amount of time. Nevertheless, we can now hold up to 60, and we now need to backtrack through this cave. And that's pretty much going to do it for this section. Join me next time, and we will return the ghost home and do a couple more side quests before going to Catfish's Maw.